Hey, New York, New Jersey, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Epiphany. I am so glad that we get to do this great work together. I'm making this video because I want to help us as we transition into a new semester focus on the three things which I think are absolutely critical for us to be paying attention to in this next season. The first one is January NSO. Now, it's critical for us as we move into a new semester to be really well planned and clear about our January new student outreach goals. This fall in September, we actually didn't do such a great job in the first month of meeting as many students as we probably needed to do in many places, so that we could find those students around whom to build ministry. I always think about it this way. I think there are three kinds of students that you meet on campus. There are the students who need your ministry, the students who want your ministry, and the students that you can do ministry and build ministry with. Now, here's the reality. Everybody you meet on campus needs your ministry. They need to be connected to life with God, and you have an opportunity to help folks connect with God. And so we go broad because everybody needs what we have to give. But then secondly, there's a group of people who want our ministry. And that is a community of people that they sign up quickly. They're excited about the possibility. But if you're like me and you've had any experience on campus, you notice that some of the people who want our ministry actually aren't very consistent. They're not very strong or well-developed leaders at this point. And so there's a third group of students that you need to meet, which these are the people who you can, by the power of God, do ministry with. These are people who come into the ministry with some talent, some abilities, some God-given gifts that if you can help connect them to the right people and envision them with the right to align with our vision, then we can accelerate ministry quickly. Here's the reality. You won't find the third group of people, the people that you can build ministry with, unless you are actually working diligently to go really broad. We know this. Our experience shows us this. Over and over again, we've seen that it actually takes going broad in outreach to find the pivotal people around whom you can build ministry. And by the way, this isn't just us who've experienced this. This is what Jesus did. If you look at the synoptic gospels, in every case, Jesus began to draw crowds of people and begin to teach in synagogues and reach these crowds. And then in the midst of having reached large crowds of people, then Jesus began to select the people who would then become his disciples, his apostles, and his core team of three. So we gotta be doing January NSO, and that's the first of the three most important things we gotta be focused on during this season. But here's the second one. The second one is that we need to actively multiply small groups. You know, we've been talking for years about multiplying small groups. And yet, if I'm honest, when I look at the number of small groups that we've actually multiplied over the last couple of years, it seems like small group multiplication is a good idea that we've talked about, a noble cause that we've championed, but it's not something that's gotten into our daily life. It's not something that we've executed well. You know, if we were able to simply launch small groups for every apprentice we have in our growth record, we would be able to radically increase the number of students who would have the opportunity to get connected to a witnessing community, and they're also not only connect to a witnessing community, but also a chance to connect to life with God. And so it is vital for us in this next season to get super clear about multiplying small groups. And there's two things that can really help us multiply small groups. One of them is the strategy, it's the best and most effective strategy for multiplying small groups, and that is to give the existing small groups to your apprentices that you were working with last semester. So any apprentice you have, give them an existing small group. Let them lead that existing small group. And then the small group leaders who are experienced in going out and gathering a community around Jesus and building a small group together, you send those people out to start something new. And then, yes, of course, if the Lord brings to you some great people from JNSO who are apostolically gifted and can go help us start ministries in different places, launch them as well. Absolutely do that. But the most effective way to accelerate that long term in terms of a system is to use the people who've already done it. Here's the second thing that you can use if you want to accelerate small group ministry, and that is NICUP Rec Week. Did you know the whole Rec Week curriculum is driving students towards the goal not only of acquiring values that are important to us and learning about their life with God and connecting to God's heart for the poor and God's heart for justice, but also being able to apply that information in the context of becoming a small group leader, becoming somebody who looks at their immediate community and then invites people, gathers people around Jesus to live in the way of Jesus together. And so if you are serious about multiplying small groups, it is in your best interest to recruit as many students as possible and send them with your blessing to go to Rec Week, or better yet, go with them to Rec Week and bring a group of students. And as you're there, be talking and vision casting and dreaming about how when you get back, you're going to multiply small groups. And it's a huge resource that will enable you to do this great work. So I commend that to you. Now, last thing that we need to do is we need to think about conference recruitment. And I know it feels like Basileia is a long way off. But I want to submit to you that actually, if we don't get ahead of recruiting for Basileia in January, we end up getting behind and not being able to, when we're playing catch up even from early on. January is the time that we want to get all of our leaders signed up for Basileia, committed to come to Basileia. So I would encourage you, make strategic use of small groups, not small groups, well, use strategic small groups, but use strategic implementation of scholarships, so that you can help resource student leaders to sign up early for Basileia, so that when February and March and April come around, you're not trying to get your leaders to Basileia. They're already there, and they are the ones through whom you are extending the invitation of Basileia to ever-increasing tiers and parts of the chapter and the campus community. So those are the three things that you need to be paying attention to this month. And I'm going to be sending some emails and some ideas out to help with this, but just wanted to send this video to say, please be focusing on those things this month. Please be attentive. Work with your area director and in your teams to come up with great ideas that will help you to move these things forward. And as you do those three things, JNSO, small group multiplication, along with Rec Week recruitment and Basileia. If we do that, I know God will take those efforts, will blow on those efforts by His Holy Spirit, and we will see God do what only God can do to His glory. I love working with you, and I know that God has a desire to reach every corner of our campuses, and I believe that God can do that in ways we can't even ask or imagine this semester if we will step in and pursue the things He's calling us to. So look forward to partnering with you.